To place the weather station on top of the pole, you really just need three tools: the weather station itself, the wrench, and a compass. And sometimes your cell phone will have a compass. The most important thing is to get the station positioned in the direction it's supposed to be, with this side being north. And so we will use the compass to do that. We want the station to be secure to the pole. However, since it's made of plastic, we can't over-tighten it. So we'll simply finger tighten and then use the wrench to put the last turn on the screws. So let's go ahead and put the station on the pole. Keeping in mind, the pole you'll have is 2 meters high, and so you'll need something to stand on to be able to get your head to the elevation of the pole. We want to have the cable away from the pole so it doesn't get pinched between the pole and the clamp. And we'll simply slide the clamp over, and then we'll take our compass and identify which direction is north. That's north, and now we see that this is the side, the station that wants to be north. We put the compass against the two poles here, and we simply turn it until we achieve north. Once the station is north, we will now tighten the bolts. Start by tightening them just with your hands. Here it's very important to use a 50mm pole so that you can make sure that there's still threads. Now I've tightened them by hand, and now I'm going to take a wrench and put another half turn on each quarter turn there, quarter turn there, one more quarter turn, and one more quarter turn. Now we put a half turn on each, and this is secure. We verify that it's level with the bubble level. If it's not level, we'll need to get some thin plastic from like a plastic drinking bottle and cut little pieces to go into the places where you might have to adjust the orientation. But if your pole is level, this should be perfect. Now it's time to place the data logger onto the pole. The data logger has its antenna on the top, and that wants to be as high as possible without interfering with the rest of the device. In addition, if you're south of the equator, you want to have the solar panel facing north. If you're north of the equator, you want to have it facing south. In this case, we are north of the equator, so I want to have it facing south. That's north, this is south. I've positioned my zip ties in preparation for mounting on the pole. Notice we only use black zip ties or metal zip ties. We do not use white zip ties because the white zip ties are not durable in the sun. We have the cable here. It's going to need to come in the bottom, so we want to make sure we have plenty of room for that. We'll simply place the data logger against the pole, and these little notches identify where the pole goes. You put your zip ties through the two slots here. Okay. So now we position our data logger and put the zip ties together, and we're good to go on this station. The zip ties need to be pulled snugly because we do not want the station to slip. So we'll start with them pulling just a little bit. Make sure we're in the place we want to be. So when you place the station, such as this, the main sensor cable will go into position 1. When it's in position 1, be careful that you don't trap the cable between the door and the body of the device. It should be on the foam. So notice it does not get hit by the plastic. Close it on that, and then latch it tight. Now we have plenty of cable here, and so we can even gather our cable up a little bit and put it with the zip tie. And there we will put our antenna here. We want to make sure that we've rotated it so that the solar panel is facing south in this case, and that the antenna has a clear line all the way up here, but it should never be that the antenna interferes with the wind measurement right here. The final step that can't be forgotten is putting the antenna on the cell phone. And so we simply put it on the fitting and rotate it on, and then get it nice and snug with your fingers. Make sure it's not hitting anything mechanically. It's away from the other device, and that we have is a fully mounted system. The solar panel is pointing towards the sun. That means if you're north of the equator, it's facing south. If you're south of the equator, it's facing north. That's your solar panel. That's what's powering the whole station. And we have the cable, and we check that it's clear of the plastic door. Very good. It's not going to be pinched by the plastic. And we have it in position 1. And we check also, when we open the device, we can see that our OK signal light, IS, is blinking green. And that's indicating that the device is fully functioning. Now close it up. Make sure, a last check, that all your zip ties are snug. You may want to get one more zip tie to hold your cable in an organized fashion. Make sure with your hand that this is nice and secure. It shouldn't be easy to move it. It's nice and tight. And that's the fully mounted TAHMO station.